This is class number 3 for the at-home tone resistance band workout. See a lot of familiar faces, so sounds like we're all enjoying the program here, and let's keep it going. So as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a high anchor system today. So if you haven't set up a high anchor point, please start looking for a place to do so. I can help you if anyone's struggling. Just point your computer at an area and I'll try to help you set something up. So please send a chat if you're having issues and Monica will reply. But to get things started, we're just going to do some stretches to stretch out the muscles we're going to be working today. So if you have a thicker band, please detach it. Just keep it solo, just like this. I'm using the black band. This is the 30-pound resistance. I recommend either this one or the blue or green one. But we're just going to run through about 7 or 8 quick stretches to warm up those muscles because we are going to be using them quite a bit today, and I'd like to avoid injury. So here we go. Our first one, our first stretch, we're just going to hold these for a few seconds and then move on. So what I'm going to do here, just warm up our backs. I'm sitting. I recommend doing this one sitting. I'm stepping on the band. I'm gripping it low, and I'm just going to pull my back, and we're going to hold here. You can increase or decrease resistance. I'm going to go back down slightly. You don't want to be bouncing back and forth. Just nice and easy for the lower back. The lower you grip the band, the more resistance there's going to be, or the wider you put your feet, the more resistance you're going to get. So it's all up to you. You're controlling to what degree you want to stretch that back. Let's just go back and forth a few more times. If you have a chair with a seat back, it will come in handy today. It's going to help you keep that form so your back's not all over the place. All right, one more. All right, moving on to the upper body a little bit higher. Next, I'm just going to hold the band above my head, shoulder width apart. I'm going to stretch it. And I'm just going to go back, behind, and forward, down to the waist. We're loosening up those shoulders, our back, our traps, because we're going to use those quite a bit today. With the high anchor point, there are exercises that we won't be able to do for certain parts of the body, but I just want to show you what you can do with a high anchor point. So like I said, it's going to be a lot of pulling exercises. So very little leg work, if any, today. But we covered a little bit on that last week. And then we'll go back to legs next week. All right, let's do 1 or 2 more of these. Go as far back as you can. All right, now we're gonna do the spinning type thing. Loosen those shoulders up. So we're going 1 arm above the head, then the other one follows. And we're just going one direction. All right, let's switch the other way now. You always want to have tension on this, on the band. Let's do 1 more revolution. All right. Let's pause at the top, just like this. And now we're gonna bring our chest down to our knees, but we're keeping our hands back. So the band isn't coming with us, it's staying back here. And we're just bringing chest down if you can, as far as you can. If you can't get down to the knees, that's fine. If you can only go a little bit up to here, completely okay. So let's just go up and down a few times, nice and slow. Let's do about 2 more. And last one. All right, still staying above here in this position. We're gonna hold, no little slack here, no tightness, and we're gonna stretch our bands and bring it back in, nice and easy. We're gonna stretch till it's about at our head, touching our head, and we're bringing our hands back together, not all the way. You always want to keep tension at the very end. This is stretching out our traps. It's also a good workout for the traps, not just a stretch. All right, 1 more. All right, next, we're gonna do this kind of bent elbow, and then we're gonna stretch our arms out. This is another one for the traps and upper back. We're gonna keep the band behind our head, and we're just gonna pull it out, pull on both sides. All right, let's do 1 more. And we'll stretch our chest out a little bit and our back a little bit more. All right, now hands forward. Same thing, same motion. We're just gonna pull and bring it in. Pull out, bring it in. You should be feeling this in your chest, shoulders, the back as well. Do 2 more. All right. And last, we're going to stretch those biceps because they're going to do a lot of work today. Just about every back exercise is going to involve the use of the biceps. So again, there's 2 different ways we can stretch these. Up to you what kind of resistance you want. I prefer stepping on the band. I'm going to face my palms up. I'm just going to raise the arms and hold it there with tension. If this is too difficult for you to do, all it takes is your other hand. Got the band on the palm, fingers, and I'm stretching with the other. Either way, you're still going to get that stretch here. So whatever you prefer. So let's hold it, maybe about 10 seconds, and then we'll get started here. All right. All right, now we're all loose, hopefully. We'll avoid any muscle strains, pulls, and we're gonna get going here. So once again, we're gonna be utilizing the high anchor system. I am using this kind of flimsy door that I didn't recommend anyone using. But if you have one of these doors that open, that fold, I found a way to make it work. What I did, I have just some shims. If you have a door stop, same thing, door jamb. I stacked 2 little shims that I had into the door, and now that prevents it from opening, even with a lot of force. So you always have that option if you have a door like this. Put my band back on. So we're going to start off doing 3 variations of lateral pull downs. The pull down is an essential move for the back. There's really 2 moves that help develop the back. It's the pull down and it's the row. We've already done the rows, I believe, in the first class. So now we're going to do pull downs. Another move to work the back are deadlifts, which I'll lightly touch on. It's really difficult to do deadlifts with bands, but you could do the Romanian style deadlifts, which are a great way to tone the hamstrings and the lower back. But for this, what we're going to do, we want to find a position that has stretch up here though. So right now I have too much slack. This isn't going to do too much because this is my only range of motion. So my choices here are, instead of sitting, I'm going to choose to kneel and pull. I'm just going to go back a little bit further. Now I have that resistance all the way. But if you want to stay seated, if that's your only option, and you can't go onto your knees on the floor or sit on the floor, what you want to do, just grab your bands up higher, straighten out the arms, and now you have that full range of motion. So it depends on your door height and how much resistance you have on what your setup is going to be. So like I said, I prefer to be seated, but it's not going to work for me here unless I do this. So I'm just going to go down to the knees and do the lateral pull down. So everyone, we're going to get started here. We're going to do a superset of 3 exercises, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And we're going to take a quick break and then do that whole set one more time. So here we go. I'm going to start my clock. For the first one, you want your palms facing the door, the wall, just like this. And all we're going to do is bring it all the way down, almost to our shoulders and back up. Just like that. And this is a lateral pull down. So here we go. Timer is set. 30 seconds, no need to go fast. And begin. Three seconds. And stop. Next, we're going to switch. We're going to get right into the next one because these are supersets. So here, I'm going to bring my hands together. And actually, I'm just going to grip both with one and then go over the top of my hand with the other. And we're bringing it into our chest. Close grip, palms facing each other, just like that. So here we go. Another 30 seconds on the clock, and let's begin. Five seconds to go. And rest. All right, our final leg of the superset. Now our palms are facing us, and I want you to bring those hands in as close as you can together. Now we're going to be working the biceps more with this motion. We're just pulling in. Very similar to the others, our grip is just reversed, and it's challenging different parts of our muscles. So here we go, 30 seconds, and begin. 5 seconds to go. And stop. All right. So now this is your quick chance for a break. Grab some water. 20-second break, and we're going to get into our next superset. This exact same thing, except less rest in between. We're going to go rapid fire one after the other. So grab some water. You should really be feeling your back tomorrow from these, especially with the supersets. All right, let's give about 15 more seconds. We're going to get right back into it. All right, so we're doing grip, hands facing the wall, the door, and we're just pulling back. Here we go, and begin. Feel free to change your resistance if it's too easy or too hard. You should try to go for the full 30 seconds. Ten seconds to go for the first one. Two more. All right, right into the next one. We're doing the close grip just like this, and we're bringing it to our chest. So here we go. $15 seconds to go. Two more. All right. And right into our third, reverse grip, palms facing us, and we're bringing it into the chest. Back should be still. Here we go, and begin. You should be feeling the biceps a lot more on this one. Five seconds. And the last one. All right. Whew. That's good. Hopefully you guys are feeling that. Starting to get a little sore. So grab some water. That's our superset. So we did 3 exercises. 3 exercises, 2 sets all the way around. If you want to challenge yourself, I usually do these 3 to 4 sets of these supersets. I feel that's a good workout for me after I do that many. But we're going to continue working on the back here. The next exercise, I'm going to drop some poundage. I'm definitely going to take off the black band here. So please adjust accordingly. And I think I'm probably going to take off the blue band as well. I'm just going to let the others hang, unclip him on here. They're not going to get in the way up there. And our next move is going to be a straight arm pull down. So this is actually still a little bit hard. I am going to drop the 3 heaviest bands. I'm only going to keep the 2 light bands on here because it should be a fairly easy move. Oh, this is good. And it's going to look like this. So I'm doing this on the knees, and I find that's a perfect height for me. If you're in a seated position, it's just going to look like this. Arms to the side. It's actually really comfortable in a seat. So for those of you using a seat, it's actually really nice. So either way, this is going to work the top of our back. give you guys a few more seconds to adjust, test out your poundage, whatever works for you, and we're gonna get going here. So we're gonna do 3 sets of these, 30 seconds, and we're gonna go pretty quick. Not very much rest in between. It's a low weight, more of a toning exercise. So here we go and begin. It's okay to have a slight bend in elbow. You probably don't want to have locked out elbows for this. But all you're doing is going up to about shoulder height and back down to your hip area. You should feel the muscles close to your spine here. And one more. All right. Do a 10-second breather, and we'll get into set number 2. All right, and begin. Ten seconds to go. One more. All right, and rest. Give you guys about 10 seconds. We'll get on to our last set. All right, here we go. And begin. Ten seconds to go. And 2 more. And rest. Good job, everyone. That's a good, just a form exercise. You really don't need much poundage for that. You know, you're working those interior back muscles by your spine. But it's a great workout because it's one of the few ones that touches on those muscles and isolates them. All right. Next, what I'm going to do, if I'm in a seated position, I'm going to rotate my chair. I'm going to keep this poundage. It might work for this exercise too. But I'm going to pull my chair out just a little bit because I want the tension. And what I'm going to do is just pull the bands over. I'm not using the handles. You can use the handles if you like. You're just doing this. You want your chair a little bit further out. It's important to start with the tension first and then pull it over. Pull it across. You can also do it holding the band. I actually prefer holding it by the band, just like this. If you're not in a chair, I think the knees are going to work best for this one. You're just going to do this motion. All right, so let's get 30 seconds on the clock. We're going to do 2 sets of these and begin. You're only pulling to about chest height, maybe the belly button at the furthest. And you want to start your hands slightly behind your head. Again, you want a little bend in the elbow. Let's do 3 more. 1 more. And rest. I'm going to do the last one seated. I'm going to use the handles this time as well. And let's begin. Halfway there. Two more. All right, and rest. All right, good job, everyone. That's going to conclude our back. So right now we're going to get into triceps. The back and the triceps, you're going to be using the high anchor point the most for these, because just the best positioning to work those muscles, which you'll soon see. So here, we're going to face the door. You can be standing for this one. You can be sitting. Basically, we're just going to be doing tricep pull downs. So find a good weight for yourself. I'm probably going to start with something. I'm going to keep what I had, so the two lightest bands, the yellow and the red for me, and I'm going to add the black one, and let's see what that gets us. Because you want to challenge yourself, but you don't want something heavy where your form is flawed because you're putting too much of other muscles into it. So I'm going to do a little test here to see what this feels like, and this is actually perfect. It's quite challenging, but I think I'd be able to do a set of 30 seconds with these. So everyone, please play around with your weight. We'll give you, let's give ourselves about a minute here to get situated, and we're going to work on the triceps. We're going to do some supersets. So once again, if you want to do what I'm doing, I have the colors of the German flag, red, yellow, and black. If you're standing, you may be gripping your bands up here in order to get the best range of motion. So if you're standing, I would grip it right around shoulder height, actually a little bit lower. That was a little bit too difficult. And you're going to be doing this motion in a prone grip manner. I'd prefer if you use hands because we're actually going to switch to the prone grip for the second set. The neutral grip, I should say. All right, so here we go. We're going to do these for 30 seconds. And once again, this will be a superset of 3 exercises. So here we go. I'm going to do the sitting, and my palms facing the wall and the door. And this is all I'm going to do right here. You could do it between your legs too. It's whatever's more comfortable, or the outside. I prefer keeping my hands close together. So 30 seconds and let's begin. You're just bending at the elbow. The whole body is still. Halfway there. Five more seconds. Ooh, could already feel these. Your triceps are going to be sore. And rest. Ooh, that's good. Next, we're going to get right into the prone grip. So what you can do, grip your bands right above the carabiners, or some of your handles, maybe all of your handles, you can turn like this. So then you're pulling in this manner. I don't like turning the handle like that. I prefer just gripping it right above the buckle. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to do the same thing, 30 seconds. Ready and begin. Neutral grip. Ten seconds. 2 more. And rest. All right. Oh, that's a good burn. For our last one, we're doing a reverse grip. So palms facing you, same motion. So here we go. And begin, 30 seconds. You're working the back of the tricep here a little bit more with this one. Halfway there. Five seconds to go. One more. And rest. All right, quick 30-second break, and we're gonna do one more superset of what we just did, and then we'll move on to a couple core exercises, and we're done. So good job, everyone. Hang in there.
Hey, Greg.
Yes.
Are we allowed to ask questions?
We prefer to save them to the end unless it's something that's going to affect the rest of the workout here for you.
I just had a question on the form with the triceps, so sure. I can. Oh, well, I was just wondering, like when, I don't know if you can see my hand, but when you pull down, my wrist goes back like this, like when I'm pulling down, and then it goes back to neutral. So I was wondering, like when you're pulling down, do you keep that wrist, do you try to keep your wrist at neutral or
good question. No, I would keep it neutral. You don't want the wrist flipping around in any way. I keep it completely still, like it's part of my forearm. Oh. And what could help you if your wrist just automatically does that, wearing like a wrist guard, like a rollerblading wrist guard, keeps that, nice and straight for you.
Okay, yeah, so, thanks. I was noticing that my wrist was doing that every time, and I tried to not do it, and that seemed to isolate the triceps more, but anytime I had my wrist moving, then it just hurt my wrist, so.
Right, that way you're going to get wrist pain, and you're also going to be working your forearm more than the tricep. Oh. That's a good question. So let's get, I'll take some more questions at the end, but let's get into our live set here.
Thank you.
Anytime. Good question. All right. So same thing, everyone. Less rest in between. We're going to go rapid fire here, one after the other. So first one, this time I'm going to do it in a knee position. And here we go. Palms facing the ground, 30 seconds. Halfway there. Five seconds to go. And last one. All right, next, neutral position, grip, same thing. Ready and begin. Halfway there. Five seconds to go. Last one. All right. Shake it out. I'm hurting here. Last one. Palms facing us. 30 seconds on the clock and begin. Halfway there. Five seconds to go. Last one. All right. Whew. Well, we're done. That's it for triceps. So the last two things I want to touch on are just two core exercises that you can do from this position. You can do them seated, standing, kneeling, whatever you prefer. We're probably going to have to play around with the resistance. It's basically going to be a weighted crunch. I like to grip it up here just because I can control how much resistance without playing around with anything. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to give myself a little space from the wall. And I'm just going to do crunches down if I'm in a seated position. If you don't have to stay seated, I really recommend doing these from the knee position because this really keeps you in that optimal position for a crunch, for a weighted crunch. So we're just going to go down. You could probably handle a lot of weight with this. So I'm actually going to increase, I'm going to put on one more band. I'm going to have the red, yellow, black, and I'm going to add the blue band to this just to make it a little bit more challenging. But do as you please, whatever works for you. And here we go. We're going to do these for 45 seconds. And begin. "15 seconds to go. Last one. Oh, and rest. So that's a really nice exercise. I recommend doing at least 4 to 5 sets of those, though, if you really want to work your abs. I'm just here to show you what you can do because I want to show you one more exercise before we run out of time here to work the obliques a little bit more. So for this next one, I know that I'm not going to be able to handle this kind of weight just from previous experience. So I'm going to undo the black band, that's for sure. I'm going to test this out. These are called axe chops. So we're just going to go across the body. You know, it's pretty difficult with what I have right now, but I'm going to stick with it. It's challenging, so I'm going to give it a shot. If it's too heavy, I'm going to reduce some weight for the next set. But right now I have the yellow, red, and blue band on. I'm gripping. I have them both by one hand. Going to curl my other hand around. We're going to start off with some stretch, and we're going to pull across. So you actually want to pull a little bit further than I am. You want to pull across your body, and you're just twisting. There we go. Diagonally across your body. So here we go, 45 seconds, and let's begin. This is a really good one. Standing up. I like the standing up just because I'm not sliding around my chair. I'm on a little stool here, so it's not ideal. Got a wide base. Slight bend in the elbow. 10 more seconds. Almost there, guys. Let's do one more. And rest. All right. And to finish it off, we're going to do the same thing, but now from the other side. So I'm going to stay standing because it's easier for me rather than on that stool. And we're just going to pull the other way now. So here we go, 45 seconds and begin. Fifteen seconds to go. Let's do two more. And last one. All right. That is it, and we are right on time. So I am gonna turn it over for questions.